we've been trying to do Sabbath well for a long time, and I thought I would just take you on a journey of me doing Sabbath one day. And what surprised me is that it is really an art. It is hard to do a day that fully, all the way through, just gives your soul life. But I'll share with you what I learned, and I will show you the sketch notes along the way. And if you would like a copy of the sketch notes, let me know and I will send it your way so you can have on hand what things seem to give a person life and what things seem to take it away, so you can do Sabbath well. All right, here we are starting our Sabbath off with some tea and reading a prayer. We do this ritual because it gets our mind in the mindset of we are beginning this. Okay, this is us sleeping in on our Sabbath. Church starts at 9 and it's 8:06. That was just enough sleep to feel totally rested, and just enough time to get to church. All right, this is us getting ready for church, and me trying not to check my social media. I have things I want to see how they're performing, and I'm like, no, I don't want to live by the world's standards today. I'm here waiting for my wife to get in the car to go to church. We picked Sunday to do our Sabbath, just kind of because it's the day that the least amount of things happen. Yes, church happens, and we have to make sure that we don't get so involved in activities after church that it doesn't feel like rest. We still serve sometimes on the serve teams, but overall it felt like, compared to Saturday, where just like a lot of social events are happening, Sunday seemed like the least productive day, the least day where we had to be productive. So here I am doing the prayer ministry. It was something I committed to, and I enjoy it. It's easy. I like praying with people and seeing their stories change, so it feels life-giving. But I am aware I can't commit too much on my Sabbath, because it could drain me, and that's the opposite purpose of Sabbath. Betty, however, headed home in between the services because she wants to get some time to go to a coffee shop and journal. That's what gives her life. But I just realized I was super distracted in the first service. It sounds like I'm trying to be super holy or something, but really I was just distracted. And I want to stick around for the second service. That's such a beautiful space here at Grace Midtown in Atlanta. That I am just gonna try to see if I can really sit in the worship a lot better and be a lot more focused, because that's where I get refilled a lot of times. Get a lot of inspiration, and kind of where some of my ideas get planted in my head to launch my creative endeavors for the rest of the week. Put them in a list as I'm worshiping, because they usually drop into my head while I'm worshiping, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, this being in this space around people that know and love us is life-giving to me. So I'm gonna stick around, kind of a game time decision. Gonna wait until the next service and chill. I'll do my sketch notes too. That's fun. So Sabbath, we're doing it. This may be a little bit counterintuitive, but I realized that I feel good after I take a walk each day. So I decided to walk home from church. But it is super cold and windy, but I'm kind of here for it. I sort of like the challenge. It'll be refreshing. Maybe I'll take a hot shower when I get home, and that'll be a treat. So this is me, still experimenting on how to do Sabbath best. We'll see how I feel. Alright, I am almost at my destination home, and I feel great. I have been walking, it's only about 10 minutes so far, but just let myself do some thinking. The being out in nature feels great. Nature as in the middle of the city. But I was thinking how maybe in the previous eras, work, physical work was the norm, and so Sabbath actually meant a break from physical work. But now the norm for me and a lot of people is sitting in front of the computer, very sedentary, not using the body. And this feels good to me. Being out here walking, breathing hard, being in the elements, probably is something that's supposed to be in each day. My lips are frozen. But this feels rejuvenating for me. I'll get home and I'll probably want to sit down, but feel that more life has been given to me. It wasn't a required expenditure of physical energy. It was a chosen one. It's not so exhausting. It's not like a marathon I'm running. Being out in nature is rewarding for me. Nature, the city. And yeah, so far I think I'm liking this part of my Sabbath. Here I am. I decided to do some reading. This new book by Francis Chan called Beloved. I got home and thought it would be easy to get sucked into like social media or something, but let's pick something different. So I dove into a book that a friend, Gregory, gave me, and I remember a few weeks ago I had spent an hour or two reading a book and came out of it feeling really energized, and it kind of changed my whole week. I had read it in a peaceful state of mind with a warm drink, and so I'm kind of trying to reproduce that effect, hoping that that is part of the magic of Sabbath. Oh, and I'm also really resisting trying to check my stats. Like, I'm running some Facebook ads to see if they work to get people to download my app, and I had published an Instagram video that was really taken off yesterday, so I'm really trying to resist checking in on my worldly metrics, those things that let me know how well I'm doing in this world. First of all, because they could stress me out or disappoint me, which are feelings I don't want to embrace on or invite on the Sabbath. And second of all, I don't want worldly metrics to be what motivates me, and I think Sabbath is the day where I should take a break from that. I just took a phone call from a friend, and Betty got some new kind of like mushroom coffee stuff, which is pretty good, a little treat on the Sabbath. Now I've found myself here in bed, which feels pretty relaxing, and this is where we watch our TV. So I'm wondering if now is the time I get to watch my one TV show for the day. This is kind of like the one to me that it's sort of like a treat that I wouldn't normally watch on other days. And the one I like is Arcane. It has a beautiful illustration and animation style. Absolutely beautiful and so creative. So it's something I kind of hold back the rest of the week so that on Sabbath it feels like a real treat. Oh, and one last thing. The reason that I have a few things on my Sabbath list to do, I know doing things sounds anti-Sabbath a little bit, but I had done some Sabbaths where I just had no agenda whatsoever, and that was kind of unfulfilling as well. I got to the end and felt like, wow, wasted day, I guess. Maybe I need to overcome that mindset, but what my resolution was, and some people had sort of advised that this works for them, is just like have a list of things that you like doing instead of having a schedule or anything like I need to do. Just have a list of things to choose from on your Sabbath so you don't get to the end and feel like I did nothing today and it feels unsatisfying. Maybe doing nothing is the goal. I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll take this nap and maybe do this assessment. I'll check in after that. So something pretty cool just happened. I was going to watch that show that I wanted to watch as a treat. We have a Muslim neighbor who's become a friend of ours, and he was saying he had some dishes that he was making that he wanted us to try. So I thought, hey, let's invite him over and we can try his dishes, but I invited him to watch the show with me, and we just got to geek out over this show. I had no idea that he had a passion for it too. Arcane, it's a awesome show that was made from a video game. He used to play the video game, and it was cool. We had a 2-hour hangout of talking about spiritual stuff, the video game lore, and trying his awesome Egyptian food. It was a really awesome thing for a Sabbath. Alright, so today has been filled with a lot of good stuff, Sabbath type stuff, but for some reason I feel like it's dark outside and I don't feel fulfilled. I feel like anxious that I haven't made it a good Sabbath. So I remembered one thing that I try to include in my Sabbaths that I haven't done yet, and it's just an assessment of last week. And kind of goals for this coming week. I like that as an activity on Sabbath because it's a place when you take a pause. Sabbath, the seventh day is when God looked back at all he had done and he said it was good. So I'm just going to take a glance at what I did last week and maybe set some goals for the current week. In my app, I built a place to assess your Sabbath summaries, your things you've accomplished and your goals for the next week. So I'll try to do that now. Maybe I'll check in afterwards to see if I feel a little more fulfilled. Oh, and one of the other things I try to do on my Sabbath that I haven't done yet is take a nap. So I think maybe I'll just crawl into bed while I'm doing my assessment and my goals. And if I fall asleep, no problem. All right, so feeling a bit of dissatisfaction. I think what I learned from today is probably hosting people over more than an hour gets a little bit draining. Probably on most people it does, but I should have managed that time a little bit better. I think it was taxing on both me and Betty. We love hosting people, but for Sabbath and for 2 hours, I think it was probably too much. It was a great time with our friend, but maybe we should limit our hangouts with people for just an hour, or maybe outside of our house so we could leave whenever we need to, if it's a lunch get-together of friends or something like that. I also realized another thing. The one moment where I really felt like my batteries started to charge back up were when I was laying in the bed, the little side lamp was on, and I had my phone open ready to do my just kind of assessment, and it was just, these surroundings were just really nice. I was tucked into a soft bed, and I think that maybe surroundings, your environment, the lighting, I was about to say how you're dressed, but maybe, something comfortable. Probably these sorts of things have a big effect potentially on if your batteries are able to recharge. Your atmosphere, your surroundings, your environment. Is it someplace that just feels really life-giving? I did do my Sabbath reflection and planning, and that was epic, honestly. I realized that if I just spend a few minutes on a few different areas of my life, like my wife, family, work, my app, these things, and ask 3 questions. What did I do well this week? What do I want to do better this coming week? And what actual steps need to be taken in order to achieve those? It just gives me the space to think, and how do I make this certain area or that area of my life amazing? And the things I came up with were smart and logical, and they're the type of things at least normal people do that I generally neglect because I'm just put my head to the grindstone and work. But I think I'm gonna go shopping for a friend's birthday present, which I rarely make time for. I have a big meeting this week with a potential client, and I think I'm just gonna spend the extra time to make sure my outfit looks really good. Maybe go shopping, get a couple elements of the outfit. And these things are potentially big, will have a big effect, I think. I also analyzed, how I'm gonna take care of family relationships, and how did I, and I just put together a few mission steps for this week for my app, so that just directs the direction of my, the majority of my focus hours of the day. So that'll be good to jump into that with a momentum in one direction. And now that I think about that, that's great. I need to make sure I do that every week. And Betty's watching a chick flick, which I may join her. I recognize as soon as I sit down and start watching it, my mind just goes distracted, which maybe that's what I need. But I also like the idea of focused relaxation, where I'm purposefully letting my mind just be curious, think about God, think about my week, instead of just having a screen distract me. We'll see. It's already 9 p.m. And I think a big part of getting the week started right, I realized as I was just taking a shower, which was nice, was getting up early allows me to get my quiet time done by a certain time and start my focus work, which I think just gets the whole day and the whole week started off right. So getting to bed before too long is probably a good idea for tonight. Overall, so far this Sabbath, it had all the right elements, but probably included too much, especially hosting a friend for more than an hour. I'd give it from 0 to 10, maybe a 6.5. It's really an art to get a good Sabbath, I'm realizing.